So this was a tough story. This was a tough experience for me, actually. It was my last transfer, and my mission president had this philosophy, which personally I think was great. Um, every last transfer, you get a new area. So you basically have 6 weeks to do something, you know? And then you go home. He just didn't want us to get like too comfortable in an area. And since it was our last transfer, we get to relax. So he put us in a new area, our last transfer. And I was in Tapachula, great city. There's Tuxtla and then there's Tapachula, big cities. And Tapachula is a little less. So I feel like the the state government invests a little less since it's still a major city, but since it's not the capital, you can see that less money is invested like on the roads. So it's kind of torn down a bit. So, but as for the roads and like the buildings, but as for the people, they're just super nice. Anyways, we're in this major city, and I really wanted to see success. It was like, okay, my last area, I really want this to be just like give it all. And I was working. My companion was great, Elit Araniva. He was phenomenal. He was fairly new in the mission, but he taught better than I did. So it was fun to see that. So we worked together, and we started getting baptisms aligned. And I remember we had one for my last Saturday. So I was stoked. His name was Sabel. He's a great guy. He was 19. He was 19. He worked in a tire shop. We sometimes helped him. He let us. So he worked at a tire shop, and he was like such a great. We call them escogidos, which are called chosen ones. Just because like when you find them, they're so ready. It's like, okay, Heavenly Father chose them, we didn't. So he was definitely an escogido. He is definitely an escogido. So we were progressing with him, and it was the day of the baptism, and I was so excited. But prior to this, I personally had become a little lax about the whole 9 o'clock rule. Like I said, the president emphasized this rule a ton. The whole 9 o'clock rule, just to be safe. But he lived so close to our house that we literally just walked around the corner and went to our house. So we would sometimes go over 9 o'clock, and I was like, hey, it's my last transfer. I'm teaching lessons. It's fine. That's the reasoning I had. So I remember it was like it happened a few times actually that we would just be teaching and we'd show up a little later than we were supposed to. And I remember the big day came, and he called us, and he's like, he just had this huge family problem. And he said, I just can't do it. I can't get baptized. I have to be with my brother right now. So, and it was just like super hard because it was my last Saturday. I was so excited. And long story short, he got baptized the week after. But it was just perfect for me not to be there. I was already home. And on the way home, like that was really tough for me because I was like so excited. I felt like I had given it my all. And I felt like there was a promise given to us that like, yeah, if we worked hard, we would see success. And maybe then I had this bad idea of success that it was just baptisms. But thinking like on the way home on the airplane, I actually I can completely understood what had happened. I felt like the Lord loved me enough that he didn't want me to go home with this false idea that I could bend the rules at least a little bit and get away with it. I feel like Heavenly Father loved me enough to teach me this last minute lesson. And even if it required postponing a baptism of one of his sons, as long as I learned my lesson, I felt like he would do that for me. So despite me not having that last conversion last week, I feel like I gained a lot more out of it. And I feel like that really kind of summarized my mission. Elder Holland often says, if you convert anybody in your mission, have it be yourself. So I feel like it really summarized my mission, that I was like, Heavenly Father loves me, and he loves me enough to teach me hard lessons. And it really helped me, like, when I came back. Of course, life isn't nice and dandy all the time. So, like, when I have those hardships and those trials, I often, like, just kind of meditate on that and think, okay, Heavenly Father is trying to teach you something. I need to change something, or I need to better something, or I just need to, like, find joy despite my circumstances. So I'm really grateful. And yeah, I feel like tons of experiences taught me just small lessons that even now I depend on those testimony builders to get me through and get me by.